What's good, everyone? Happy Sunday evening after a glorious victory on the road. Any win on the road in the Big Ten is always great, but especially this one with all the hype and pomp and circumstance and upset alert. We love it. So we're going to talk about it, break it down a little bit tonight, and also talk about the chaos in the top 10. Lots of movement in the top 10 in the AP poll and all the other stuff. So some hurting fan bases and some happy fan bases. So we got some more data points to really talk about. Make sure you hit that like button, the little thumbs up. You see that, click that. If you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Hit that bell notification. Our videos will pop up for you when we go live. Also, remember, when you do your super chats, first of all, we appreciate them. Great questions, great comments, always good for interaction. When you do that, it helps go towards the pay it forward, which is our military first responders. We're going to look out for them because they look out for us. That's just the drill. You know it. Nevada, what's up, sir? How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good, and that win yesterday was particularly satisfying. And
Yes.
been talking to people all day from inside the program, and kind of getting some perspectives on who played well, who improved, who took a step forward, who took steps back, and feeling really good about where we are as a team. Really felt like we advanced the ball. I always say in life, you're either getting better or you're getting worse. You're never staying the same. And I
Yeah.
think we most definitely got better this weekend, and took a very important step in this journey towards a potential repeat national championship. And as you mentioned, it was been nothing but top 10 chaos. I think four of the top 10 teams lost. I know at least three, 4, and 5 lost, and I think one, further down the line. So I take nothing for granted. When I looked at our schedule preseason, you look at the potential losable games, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And certainly on the list would have been the opener against Texas and this one at Washington. We're certainly on the potential losable games list. So to have those two things behind us and have dodged those bullets and kind of moved the ball down the line, I couldn't be happier, and really, really excited about how this Buckeye team is progressing, and really excited about the rest of the season.
Definitely. And as we talked about yesterday in the post game, we're not going to play this game, you haters out there, with oh, they were overrated. They weren't that good. And, no, we heard all week about be aware, be afraid, be afraid of Washington. They got playmakers. And we agreed they got playmakers. Now, we thought we would win and win comfortably, but we respected that Husky atmosphere in that stadium and we respected their players. And so, I still think they're very good. They're a very good team. I think they had a very good game plan. They executed, they fought, they played tough. But we felt we would overwhelm them. And we just had too much, to counter what they do. And that's exactly what happened. So we're gonna dig into it, talk about it, but very excited about this win, man. I mean, listen, I don't take wins for granted. I know people, Nevada, when it's just funny to me when we talk about negative Nellies and and sunshine pumpers, and really it's the extremes are ridiculous, but it just really doesn't cease to amaze me. Nevada, you can have a win like this by 18 points on the road against some very good players on offense, and they were leading in a lot of statistical categories, but you still have some people complaining and wringing their hands over, oh well, if the defense doesn't clean this up, it's gonna bite us against Penn State, or if we don't clean this up like we did in the first set. We know they got to get better. They watch film. Sayin has played his fourth game. Some of these young guys are playing their fourth game. Some of them ain't even playing their fourth game. They're playing their third game, like Bo Jackson. Like, you know what I'm saying? The coaches and players know they need to get better. So it's just like, to me, the outlook is even more positive, Nevada, because we know we got young players who need to get better, but they're still performing at a high clip. And, when you kind of look at the context. So I don't know, man. It's just, to me, I just be thinking like, listen, man, I just can't live my life leaning into the negative all the time. I'm talking about the people who just do this all the time. It drives me crazy because it just seems like it's like misery involved. I'm ecstatic. I'm super happy about this. I know we're going to clean this stuff up. This team this week is going to be completely different in the end of October. They're going to be better. We've seen this every year, y'all, and it's exciting to know what's coming down the pike with these young boys getting better and better in Nevada.
Well, yeah, and I want to commend our game thread. Our game thread was actually pretty pretty calm. I mean, relatively speaking, relative to the rest of the Twitterverse and everything else that's out
Right.
there in social media world, I actually thought we had some, we were relatively under control. And yeah, I mean, look, if you're not excited about Ohio State football now after this period of 20 something years of just sustained excellence, then I mean, you simply will never be happy. You'll never be satisfied because this
Right.
is as good as it gets. And every other team in college football would want to trade places to be with us. Everyone, every single one. And the fact that we're able to go out there and, with these young guys, and I want to talk about one of the young guys in particular, a guy that we talk about a lot, but I want to point out something I think was pretty remarkable. Julian Sayin, okay, he leads the country in completion percentage. Okay. Which, you say that's great. Good job, Julian. But he's also third in yards per completion. So he's
That I
not,
did not know.
so the point is he's not completing a bunch of dinkersons. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's
Yeah.
throwing the ball and you know, and he's completing 78% of his passes, 4 years into, or 4 games into his college career. So he's remarkable. I mean, like I said, to have a guy that's that accurate, that can bring the ball the way that he is, and he's starting to show it a little bit in the running game. Show that he's not, two left. He's not Kyle McCord. No offense, Kyle, but he's a guy that can, stumble and get some things. He helped us out on that field goal, getting us 5 or 6 or 7 yards or whatever it was, a little closer, made that field goal a little more less stressful for Jaden Fielding. But 78%, I mean, leading the country in completion percentage while averaging 10 yards per attempt is that's rare air. That's really, really good. And as a fan, you should be excited about that because what you want to be is in these days and times, it's really hard to start a young quarterback because the
Yeah.
temptation's so great to go out to the portal. If you're Oregon, every year you're now committed to, I'm going to go get Dylan Gabriel, or I'm going to go get Dante Moore, or I'm going to go get, whomever or whatever it is. And Ohio State's kind of bucked that, and they're like, "Hey, we did the national championship thing last year with the 5th year or 6th year guy, whatever you want to say, with Will Howard coming in from K State. Now we're gonna do it with a redshirt freshman at quarterback, and maybe get him for 2 or 3 years." 'Cause, I mean, the great thing about Will Howard was won a national championship. The bad news was, he was gone after a year. Well, Julian's
Right.
saying he could be here this year and 3 more years. That's not out of the realm of possibility. You know what I'm saying? I mean, quarterbacks, generally like to get as many starts as they can before they go to the NFL, but he's going to get at least 2 more. He's not going to leave after 2 years, at Ohio State. And I mean, that's just that is so exciting because having stability at the quarterback position, having a guy that's that precise already as a freshman, I can't even imagine how he's going to be as he continues to evolve and as he continues to take his journey. And let me tell you what, talking to the guys inside the program, the teammates love him, the coaches love him, they all believe in him. And he just exudes a quiet confidence to them. He doesn't have that Drew Aller nervous energy, that nervous tick where you can always tell when you look at Drew Aller that he's about to do something bad, and you just know it. Like I don't care how iced out he is. I don't care how big the chain is around his neck. Drew, you ain't cool. You're not Captain Cool. You're not Captain Comeback. You're
Oh
Captain
man.
Ass, my dude. And and he just gonna. But I'm telling you, Sayan's exactly the opposite of that, and I'm just so excited that we have him. I just wanted to point that out.
Oh man, the timely, unexpected Allard dig is just a thing of beauty. But to your point, first of all, I did not know that stat. So yeah, you can't. Oh well, he dinks and dunks. That's why his completion. But no, that's been debunked. But also, look at the effort from the young boy right here. This is effort. This is not Howard. This is not Braxton Miller. This is not even JT Barrett. But you can see he can move a little bit. Boom, takes off. He's helping his team. It's 3rd and 17. Look at it. He's not super fast, but he's not in quicksand either. He was able to pick up a lot of ground, and like Nevada said, this helped, secure this little scramble right here in a big game. You just never know. You just never know. His willingness to do that and his ability to just pick up 10 plus yards when it's there, that's huge. That is huge. So this young man, not only is he precise, is he accurate, he has the ability to make throws off his back foot, which I'm going to show you in a little bit accurately. He has that in his toolbox. Again, that's not some dynamic, Lamar Jackson run, but you know what I'm saying? It helps. It helps. So yeah, I'm excited about Sayin, man. How can you not be excited about Julian Sayin at this point? I mean, this was a huge road test. There was a lot of question marks, Nevada. Doubters, that were like, hey, he's going to fold, and the haters, they're going to hate. But we had questions. Now we felt confident that he's a cool cucumber, and he would step up on the road. But now we've seen it, and a part of that, as Nevada addressed in his uncomfortable truths thread on Buckeye Scoop. Make sure if you don't have a Buckeye Scoop subscription, jump on that. Great stuff. Just do it. Anyway, he talked about how things change in the second half with the game plan opening up the pass a little more. And listen, and Nevada in his explanation understands that you're taking a new starter on the road in a tough environment, and Ryan Day is the quarterback guy. I trust him. I trust him and how he's going to ease in a guy. And so it's understandable, but in the second half, we saw the difference, and Nevada really lines that out. And yeah, you know what, Nevada, go ahead. Did you want to touch on that?
Well, no, it just, I mean, we only had 3 possessions in the first half, and I think that's
Right.
that's a point that a lot of people missed. Is literally we had 3 possessions. First one drove down the field to the 4-yard line or whatever it was, and got stopped on the fourth and half a yard thing.
Yeah.
The second one went 3 and out, and then the third one we went like 70 yards and 9 plays for the touchdown. So that that was literally the first half. So what I'm saying.
Right.
So you're looking at it and kind of going, wow, it sure didn't seem like we did much offensively in the first half. Well, we only had the ball 3 times. And
Right.
with the new clock rules, the way that they are, where they don't stop the clock on first downs, and teams can take the thing down. And man, if the other team starts with the ball, I mean, you're probably only going to get 4 or 5 possessions max anyway. And Brandon Innes fumbled one of those away on a punt return, and so we get three 3 possessions. So didn't really get a chance to do much, but it was definitely the tale of two halves. You could see them, you could see the playbook opening up, right in front of your eyes. And I want to call out a couple guys that I talked to people and they were named players of the game by Ohio State today, and I thought this was great recognition. But Luke Montgomery and Carson Hinsman. I mean, Carson Hinsman should win the Remington. I'm just telling you, he's the best center in America. He should win the Remington Award. What an amazing story for a guy who was buried so far on the bench that they weren't even considering playing him. Helping technician was losing his mind, saying, "I don't understand why Carson Hinsman isn't playing." That guy might win the Remington. That's crazy. And then Luke Montgomery, another guy who just hadn't played at all until injuries forced him into doing something last year in that playoff run. He's playing at an unbelievably high level right now. So our offensive line is cooking, and we gave up 1 sack yesterday. No, we didn't run for 8 million yards or whatever it was, but we generally moved, protected, staying well, moved the guys when we needed to, and I really like our offensive line, and the fact that we're going to return every single one of these guys for next year is just
Mhm.
that's a crazy stat. I know we're not looking forward to 2026 yet, but when you think about that, just when you look at that on the face of it, it's like, wow. So we're young yet so experienced, having all those veterans the national championship run, and so freaking good. So yeah, those 2 guys were absolutely outstanding. And they don't get a lot of shout outs on the offensive line unless you do something wrong, unless you get a
Right.
hands to the face or a holding or something like that. But I think we've got 3 guys between Austin and Luke Montgomery and Carson that are playing at all American levels. That's how good they're playing right now. That's how good the Ohio State staff feels about them. and it's really one of the reasons why we've been so in control of these games. Even though we're not lighting the scoreboard up yet, I don't think we'll ever really light the scoreboard up yet until we start stretching the field, until we
Yeah.
start throwing the ball down the field to JJ, Carnell, Mylan Graham, Brandon Ennis, whomever, Quincy Porter. We're not gonna put the 50s and 60s. That's what generally lights up the scoreboard, is those big long plays like that. And until they start dialing that up with Julian, but in the meantime, they're kind of staying in that short intermediate game, kind of moving the clock, kind of controlling it, keep games in, or winning the games the surest way. And as we talked about, there was a lot of chaos in the top 10. A lot of top 10 teams went down this week. A lot of fan bases are sad pandas, and we're sitting here at 4-0, looking good. And incidentally, Ryan Day is one victory away. If we beat, when we beat Minnesota next week, Ryan Day now becomes the all-time highest percentage winning coach in the history of college football. So just wrap that one around your minds for a little bit there. Pretty good for a softy, Mr. Softy like that. Not
Shut
too
your
bad.
shut your lying mouth, Nevada. He sucks. He's soft. He sucks.
Yep.
Forget about Michigan cheating for 3 years. Nope.
Oh god.
He lost that fair and square. Who cares? He sucks. There's still people out there who hate Ryan Day. Like, they're watching right now. They're listening to me. They're probably going to text me in a few minutes. Yes, I'm talking to you and your cronies. Nah, but for real, though, it's ridiculous. But I saw that as well, Nevada. And that's just incredible. We're very, very blessed and fortunate to have Mr. Day here and his wonderful family to coach this prestigious university. Real quick, I'm going to show some clips. Check this out.
Mr. Softy.
Mr. Softy.
I-
You know what?
Mr.
I should make a meme, as I often
Yeah.
do,
Yes.
with him holding like an ice cream cone. It just says Mr. Softy.
Mr.
He's
Softy.
just looking like this, like, and then I'll have like banners in the background, like his championship, his championships, his record percentages, all that.
Six wins in a row over top 5 teams. Mr. Softy.
Soft.
Yep.
Like, it's terrible. And you know what? The refs won those games, or the
gosh.
players did. He didn't have anything to do with it. He paid JJ Smith. That's the only reason. Just whatever. Just shut up, people. You're idiots. But check this out. Okay, this is why Bo Jackson is Bo Jackson. I'm going to show this play, and then I want to go back to Sayin real quick. Listen, Peoples and Donaldson, they're going to continue to come along. Donaldson is what he is, though. Okay, he's going to get you 4 yards if you need 4 yards. He's going to pound it in, in the goal line. Most likely he's a good back, but he has his lane. Peoples still needs to get better, but this is the difference right here, y'all. Bo Jackson after contact. Look at this. Boom. All right, upfield. He doesn't fall. He's always falling forward. Always. Like that, let me go back. It's not just about him breaking 60-yard runs. Look at the feel for the hole, getting north, pad level. Look at his pad level. North, boom. Keep his feet moving, boom. I mean, that is textbook running back drill. When you see practice and they're running through the little drill with the pads, and they're getting low, that's what that is. That's why you do that drill, because you keep your feet, your pad level is great, and you see he's just bowling ball. And he picked up almost 10 yards off of a play that really wasn't much there. And that's why he is the best back on his team. He's just naturally gifted. And, we just got to keep him healthy, because our run game is only going to get better and better with Bo Jackson. Peoples and Donaldson are still going to be used. They have their place. We need them to participate. They're both really good out of the backfield catching the ball. Y'all notice that, right? Peoples, he's good. They all can catch. He'll pick up a first down as a check down. Peoples will occasionally, he'll hit a hole, and he can contribute. But this boy is special. And Nevada, I wanted you to touch on that real quick before I go to the next clip.
Well, no, first of all, I think it's a great clip, because when you really look at it, the key is how low he gets. And you talk about pad level, and that's such a great point, because despite being a kind of a tall guy, he runs really low, and he gets down there, and he gets that leverage, and he doesn't present that upright target, which is kind of a problem for CJ a little bit. CJ runs a little upright, and so sometimes he gets stopped on short yardage because he is a little upright into the hole. And that's something that's an issue with James Peoples right now, and when you talk to the people in the running back room, it's really simple as he's really impatient right now, and he's not really running with great vision. So he runs the darkness right now. Now, a lot of people believe that that's a God-given gift, that people just have a feel for that. Maurice Claret had, one of the greatest, vision guys ever that, that could do that. But let me tell you, you can develop it, because I'm going to tell you a guy that was terrible at that when he came to Ohio State, and that was Carlos Hyde. Carlos Hyde used to run into the back of his running backs. It was a running joke. He would just run right into the backs of guys because he was so impatient, trying to get up in the hole so quickly, and he would just there'd be huge holes to the left. He'd just run right it up in the thing and do it. Ends up playing in the NFL for 8 years, 10 years, whatever the heck it was,
Yeah.
being one of the guys. So this is something you can get better at. So with James Peoples, he's got all the physical ability, and that's why right now they're swinging the ball out to him in the on the swing passes or the outlet passes, because one, he can catch, and two, then he doesn't have to, it's not about vision. It's not about, it's just
Right.
run, because he's got that ability in abundance right now. He just needs to be a little bit more patient, trust it a little bit more in terms of doing it. CJ just needs to run with a little lower pad level. So instead of just giving you this pablum about, oh, those running backs are just a guy, they're not gonna, I want to break it down for you in terms of what they can do to improve, and what the Ohio State guys are working with them to improve. And then highlighting what Bo Jackson does well, because Bo, he does those things well. He's very patient. He's got good vision. He knows where he's got an instinct in terms of going there. And when he gets there, he runs low. And that's why he's averaging 9 yards a carry right now. And those guys are averaging 4 or 5 yards a carry. And, CGI used the example, and, I think I said it last night, or said it my uncomfortable truths, but, CJ Donaldson is Leroy Horde. If you need 1 yard, I'll get you three. If you need 5 yards, I'll get you three. I mean, that is CJ Donaldson. But Bo's a guy that can take it and go with it, and do different things with it, and that's why he's the best running back on our team, in my opinion. And it's not close right now,
Yeah.
and it's a good thing, because otherwise, without Bo Jackson, our running game is very pedestrian, in my opinion.
It is. It just is. And I think Peoples is thinking too much. I really do. I mean, honestly, I saw better burst and attack into the hole from him last year. I mean, there was better moments last year in Nevada where I'm like, okay, that was a good. He read the block well. He got upfield. It's like I don't know if he's just feeling the pressure of the expectations. I don't know, but he just needs just get it. He'll get it. We're not throwing away James Peoples. I think he still has a very good future here to be a solid contributing back, but he just needs to see it better, slow down, and stop being so rushy and just read it right. And I think he'll get there. But check this play out, y'all. This is Julian saying this is the touchdown. Okay, this I don't think has been really talked about enough. As I'm going to run it here. First of all, let me stop here. Okay, this was a great call, in my opinion. Look, it's 3rd and 11. You're in the red zone, okay? It's 3rd and long. You know they're going to try to bring pressure, okay, typically. Now, one thing I'll say, me and Nevada we thought they would stick to man more. They actually ran a lot more zone in this game. To our surprise, they said, hey, we're going to run zone. And they did. And they ran it effectively at times. They were doing a lot of things on the back end that didn't show up on film. You know what I'm saying? So kudos to them, especially in the first half, but we adjusted in the second half with some underneath throws to kind of kill that, cover three, that shell, and the things they were doing at times. But check this out. First of all, you see they're bringing 7. They're going to bring 7, and they're going to drop 4 into zone. Here's the play. Let me go slow motion. Okay. You see they're rushing. They're coming. Free blitzer. Sayin off his back foot. Boom. Perfect stride to JJ. And it's a wrap after that. It's a wrap. It's over. There's no way they're catching him. Let me go back. Great play call. Isolating. Hartline and Day see this, especially Hartline. He sees this look here. Okay. He knows you got the rushers coming upfield. Okay. Which is going to leave JJ wide open across the field on this drag route. Okay. You got look at the receivers, first of all. Look at the receivers. Okay. They're running towards the coverage, pulling that zone, pulling those defenders away from that underneath route as the rushers are going upfield. leaves a gaping hole for JJ to catch the ball. Now the challenge is saying he has to be accurate and have that rusher in his face, throw accurately off his back foot, okay? And he does it in stride. Look at this. Boom, 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 boom. Rusher, boom, in stride. Look at that. Like some people, that's just easy. That's not easy. That is not easy. Nevada, please jump in because this play hasn't, in my opinion, has not been talked about enough. And here's another view of it, Nevada.
Well, if you go back to your beginning thing on it and you look at it, it's a screen pass. You know what I'm saying? Because JJ
Go
catches
back.
that behind the line of scrimmage. Go watch
Let's
where the
see if
line
he's
of
behind
scrimmage.
the blue.
Watch where the line of
Yeah,
scrimmage.
yeah.
That's
He's right
that.
there. That's a good point.
Yeah, so like that was a screen pass the whole. So when we talked before the thing about them running screens, that's a screen pass. That's why the guys were going down the field blocking
Yeah,
like
that's
that. But
technically a scream. That's good.
but
That's a good catch.
that's precision. That's why JJ he comes right down the line like that. That
Mm-hmm.
was it had to be timed perfectly because you see the guys blocking down the field like they're all
Yep.
engaged. That wasn't by accident. They're going out to block right away because they know that JJ is getting the ball coming with a head of screen. But that was a screen pass, and again, that's what I don't think a lot of people picked up on that. We don't run a lot of screens, but that was
Not
just
like that. Especially
not
not
like
like
that.
that.
No, that was
That was a
just
great catch, Nevada.
that was
Yeah.
superb. That was superb. Play calling and easy pitch and catch. And I think once they got that touchdown was so important for Ohio State to go in with the lead. And I know a lot of people were complaining that we didn't do more at the end when we stopped Washington. And then we would have had like 17 seconds or 20 seconds to go with the ball, and that we didn't call more timeouts or something like that. And I am the most go for it on fourth down, never punt, go for it on for two every time person in the world because I believe in all those things almost universally. Having said that, that would have been the wrong time to try to be aggressive. We had gotten the lead. We're getting the ball back at after the halftime, the second half kickoff. We're up 7-3, been trailing 3-0 most of the first half, stopped a fake, field goal, stopped them from going up two scores. And I just felt like a mistake at that point would have been just cataclysmic, and I'm not sure what we would have gotten out of trying to get the ball and try to force it down the field. So, as much as I love possessions, as much as I love expected value of possessions and things like that, I think it was the wrong time to be aggressive. And I thought that Ryan showed that was great in my opinion. That was a great decision by him not to push for it at halftime, not to be overly aggressive and dumb and do something that could have wrested the lead from us. Because I felt once we had the lead and getting the ball back coming out of the second half, I thought Washington was in deep trouble. As it turned out, we won by 3 scores. And so I don't know what was your feelings on that. B, were you on what team were you? Were you on team get the ball back and try one more time, or were you on team take it into the locker room up 7-3?
I was on team shut your mouth, Gary Danielson. You guys suck. Because this is what happens, Nevada, is that fans, way too many fans, they live and die by the broadcast team and what they're saying. Even if what they're saying is completely ridiculous or just biased or stupid or short-sighted. And remember, they were banging that drum. I'm surprised Ryan Day didn't call a timeout. Like, dude, chill. So I'm on team you. I'm on team, we got the score, win the middle 8. Don't try to press the issue and something goofy happens and they score. No, win the game. You play to win the game, right? And so I think he handled that just fine. Ryan Day is settling into his veteran coaching hood. Like he's been there and done that. Like there was no need to press the issue at that point. And listen, I know people can say hindsight is 2020, but I thought what he did was just fine. And we all see that it worked out. So yeah, I agree with you, Nevada. There you go.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it is funny how that stuff kind of has a life of its own when those people, when Danielson spews some of his nonsense or whatever it is, and other times, they won't say anything at all or miss a play or do whatever. But yeah, no, it was interesting. I thought Ryan, look, that was a textbook road game. That was a road game. No, look, Washington's not a great team. They're not Oregon, 2024, because Oregon 2024 on the road was a great team. That's a great team
Yeah.
that we played up in Alton. That was not a great team, but it was a good team. It's a good team, undefeated team. team, hadn't lost at home in, you know, 3 years or 22 straight games or whatever it was, the longest streak in college football. So to get out of that with an 18-point victory, I mean, nothing but nothing but round of applause for Ryan and for the guys, and to come out of it with no injuries, um, and
Yeah.
with with a clear continued evolution of a team. Because like a lot of times when you watch an Ohio State team, throughout the years, because I always put games in kind of types of game categories. You'll see a game and you'll be like, wow, that kind of exposed some issues for, some things where, okay, maybe we're not as good as we think we are, or maybe we took a step back or whatever it was. And um, I'm just having the hard time. I mean, yeah, they completed some passes against us. Teams are going to complete some passes against us, but the objective of the game is to keep them out of the end zone, and we're doing that as good or better than anybody in the country right now. I think probably I haven't seen the latest CFB stats. I didn't call up, but I think we're probably number one in the country in points allowed. If not one, we're right up there. But I feel like the defense just continues to get better. It's like the defense adds new wrinkles every time, and yeah, I can s- I we play with such intelligence on the defensive side, and we're getting so many contributions. I want to point out some guys we got contributions out of that we weren't really talking about. And this is, again, when you talk to the people and staff, Taiwan Malone, Will Smith Jr., Bo Atkinson got a lot of run. I don't know if Bo Atkinson's been as good as I thought that Bo Atkinson's been, but he's a good player. He's a good player, and a
Yeah.
solid contributor for Ohio State, and really, making some solid contributions. So we're getting contributions up and down the field, and I just feel like um, our defense, we're just not getting outflanked. We're not getting out schemed. Like the play design there that you just saw with JJ, Washington was completely out schemed. Just completely,
Yep.
that was just our play design is better than your play design or your defensive design. And so we get a walk-in touch, literally from the 17-yard line, we get a walk-in touchdown. And we just don't give up that stuff. Like when they broke a long run, it was because their offensive lineman held Caleb Downs, like mugged him
Oh man.
and pulled him down to the ground. Not that anybody on CBS would mention that, but
Right.
like,
Exactly.
that's the kind of stuff that it takes to break something against Ohio State. We're just not letting guys run free like that. And that is the mark of a veteran defense, of which we're not. We're a young defense, of an intelligent defense, of which we are, and of a defense that's extremely well coordinated. And we're the best coordinated defense in the country, bar none. I hope and pray Matty P gives us multiple years here, because I just, if he's one and done, it'll make me sad. I mean, I'm happy that he's here, but I hope he stays here for a bit, because the stuff he's doing. I mean, you are seeing a master class in defensive football every week from Ohio State, and just enjoy it while we have it.
Amen. Yes, Matty P. Please stay, please. And then also someone else I'm cool with staying after they try to bury him every year. Literally every year they try to bury this dude. Is Larry Johnson. And again, I'm not going to harp on it. I'm gonna hit it for 30 seconds. Then we're gonna move on. You see, he got his hat cocked to the side. He's looking over at the haters with his hat cocked to the side, like, "Hey, yo, you were saying, son? Hey, yo, son, you were saying the D line with our deficiencies and lack of depth, and we suck. They're playing pretty well, right? They're playing pretty well. And so, stop trying to bury my boy, man. You know what I'm saying? He's great. He's doing very well still at his ripe old age. So I wanted to shout out Larry Johnson real quick, Nevada. And I'm going to pull up Kaden Curry real quick. We got maybe two more clips that we can get onto the national landscape into super chats. But any
Well,
comments on LJ?
I just want to, I mean, look, that was a very popular take in the offseason. Larry's lost his fastball. Larry can't recruit. Larry doesn't have depth. Our team's this. That's gonna be a problem. And we worked really hard to try to debunk that over the offseason. And then again, it wasn't because we were just, sally positive about this.
Right.
We knew from inside that that wasn't true, and that I felt that the defensive line could be really good. Well, they've exceeded my expectations. They're even better. So when you hear stuff like we don't have O-line depth, Will Howard can't throw the deep ball, Trey Henderson is soft, Our D line suck. Larry Johnson's lost his fastball. Stud can't recruit. We can't win with JT Bear. When you hear any of that stuff and we debunk it, I hope you guys listen and kind of go, yeah, that's just a bad take. Just a bad take, because Larry is coaching as well as he's ever coached right now. And I love the young. I'm telling you, the young guys that they have are going to be really good. The young group of guys that we have are going to be really good.
Yeah.
And it's not just the Caden McDonald, Nedrick Houston shows we've seen. We've got depth. We're building depth. And when guys are called upon, they're going to produce, because Larry knows how to identify talent. He knows how to develop talent, which is really something. I just want to say, that's something that Ohio State is doing better than anybody in the country right now, because it's not like it's just recruiting. It's not like we're just getting the number one recruiting class every year. We're getting good enough recruiting. We're getting good raw material, but we identify players better than any school in the country, and we develop players way better than any school in the country. That's why we're the best program. That's why we're the gold standard. That's why we're the Ohio State Buckeyes, and that's just the facts.
Yep. Preach it. They need to clip that for a commercial, a recruiting commercial. Like you said that perfectly. And here's another young man that people just didn't really show love. We did. I'm gonna pat myself in the back because he was one of my breakout players. Pat. Kaden Curry. We talked about the screen pass earlier that Nevada sniffed out on film when you look at it, which was a great catch. This is a screen pass. Did y'all know this sack from Kaden Curry was about to be a screen? And I'm saying that because it's very tough for D linemen to get upfield to disrupt the quarterback enough to be able to disrupt the screen. Check this out right here. Look how fast Kaden freaking Curry gets to Williams. Let's run it. All right. You see the screen set up for Coleman. He can't even get it out of his hands. Curry is back there so quick. He darts past the center. Okay. And I know the linemen, they're blocking for the screen, so they're not getting upfield to try to push back the line. But still, look at how fast he gets back there. Here we go. Let me run it in slow motion. Curry rips past him. He doesn't look. He pumps. He's so afraid to throw it because Kaden is right there. He's seeing ghosts, and this is already after a sack or two from Curry. So, Kaden Curry, man. We talked about Kenyatta Jackson. We talked about here. Let me show it so y'all can see it again. We talked about Atkinson. Even Hicks. Kaden Curry is a terror right now. And again, film guys across the country who just watch film, who aren't Buckeyes, they just watch film. They're like, hey, this 92 guy is a problem. And so look at that. Look at that. Remember one thing, and I'll end this. One thing I was pleading with you guys about the wringing the hands over the D-line depth of the D-line is to give the younger guys who haven't had a chance to really have a starting role, to step up. They're practicing too. They're in mat drills in the winter. They're working hard in the spring. You know what I'm saying? They're working hard in fall camp. They're being coached up. Give them a chance to step up and be good. And, before we just panic because we didn't dump $1 million on a guy who just was all about money in the portal or, in recruiting. That's all we're saying. And so I'm very, very happy to see these guys step up, especially Kaden Curry, because that dude, he's just Nevada. I'm just over the moon excited about this defense. But Kaden Curry and what he's doing, I love it, man.
Well, a couple of things. One, yeah, you were higher on Caden Curry than anybody, and like I truth be told, I didn't know what we had in Caden Curry. I thought Caden Curry was okay, and he's
Yeah.
way better than okay. So, yeah, you get all the kudos on this one, man, because you had called that out preseason, and you went on record on that one repeatedly. And boy, talk about a guy that's I mean, 3 sacks in a game is rare air. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And
you
did
think
you know
that,
he broke the record for tackles for loss? Did you know that? I'm sorry to cut you off.
no, I didn't know that.
5
Yesterday
sacks.
he
That's
did.
a record. Yeah. I had no
I mean,
idea.
you mean 3 sacks and 2 tackles for loss or whatever?
They called it 5 tackles for loss was the
Oh,
record.
okay,
So they
okay.
combined the sacks. Yeah.
Yeah. It's an amazing statistic. I mean, he's so productive. And as much as I love Jack Sawyer, I was a big Jack Sawyer stan. I mean, he's way more productive than Jack Sawyer ever was at Ohio State. and Captain Jack, is, a legend for the Buckeyes. It just shows you how good. I mean, I think back on JT's great game against Penn State where he was a one-man wrecking crew. I think he had 2.5 sacks in that game. So it just puts it in perspective how good 3 sacks and 5 tackles for losses is. Um,
Yeah.
on that play, in addition to Caden's, unbelievable burst and getting to the quarterback, he's just sneaky fast. You see the recognition of the screen from the other guys on the field. You know what I'm saying? The other guys
Yeah.
immediately recognizing that it's a screen. We're just so freaking smart, and that's what I want
Yeah.
to. I just want to say about Arvell Reese. Arvell Reese, for all his abundance
Oh,
of athleticism and God-given physicality, he is one smart football player out there, man.
yes, he
He
is.
he sniffs stuff out, man. He is, and I don't say that about everybody because I think there's some players we have on the defense that aren't like the top of the IQ chart, but man, Arvell is smart. So he is a rare breed of just blinding athleticism and just top of the chart football knowledge. Because he just knows where to go all the time. And I'm seeing mocks now that he's in the top 15. I don't see any way that Arvell Reese stays around for 2026. I think he's just so freaking good. The two guys that I really wanted to keep were him and Caden McDonald. Both those guys are just playing at they're both first round draft picks. Those are both first round draft picks in the NFL draft. And I don't know if you can keep guys like that, but man, Arvell Reese is good. But yeah, our overall recognition. That's why we play so fast on defense because we recognize stuff right away and we get to the spot. So
Yep.
we don't react. We're not react slow. We're not slow reactors. We're fast processors. They see stuff, and especially in the red zone where everything kind of compresses and we can get to spots quickly. That's why we're so darn good in the red zone because those guys know exactly where the ball's going. They rally to it. They make the play. And yeah, but again, big shout out to you on Caden Curry because you were on that one early, and he's been nothing short of a spectacular this year.
Appreciate that. And listen, man, I might have to get some tea, have my son bring me some tea so I can hit these mini Ripperton high notes. Loving you is easy because you're beautiful. This defense, look at this. Look at Arvell Reese. Watch him. He's spying a fast, like this dude Williams is fast, quick. Look at him spying. He has 72 the linemen coming up on him to try to negate his spy game. Watch this. Here it goes. Look, fakes the rush, steps back, bounce, watches, boom, takes off. Look at the speed of Reese and smothers him. Werewolves this dude. Like, are you kidding me? This is like NFL GMs drooling watching this, bro. This is insane. It's not even fair. What Matty P has at his disposal to be able to stop guys like this. I absolutely freaking love it, man. Okay, I'm done. We can move on.
Well, yeah, but again, if he misses that tackle, and the guy
Touchdown.
jukes him, and the guy runs in the end zone, and then all you're like, "Oh, Matty P, you suck." But instead, Arvil just like took the guy, throw him down like a small child, and Matty P, you're a
Yes.
genius. Don't ever leave. So yeah, great players can make for great court, and he's a great player, that's for sure.
Definitely like a small child. Okay, real quick, I'm going to show this last clip. I need to show this throw from Julian Sayin to Max Clear. I'm going to show that right now because it was a thing of beauty. Here it is. Very similar to the throw against Texas. Boom. Look at this. Threads the needle. This time, Max Clear catches it. That's the difference. But a beautiful throw. I just want to see it one more time. Boom, boom, boom. Here's pressure. I mean, that's just a dart, an absolute dart. I love it. And anything on that as I pull? Oh, actually, let's go to the national landscape, and then we got a few super chats. But did you want to talk about that throw?
Well, I mean, look, the throw was just another in a long line of Julian saying super accurate, super with velocity, and that guy's got an arm too. He doesn't have a noodle arm, man. That kid can bring the ball, and Max made it look easy that time, and that's who Max Cutter is. That's Max can make those types of catches for us. Fought that first one in the Texas game, dropped it, but didn't drop it this time. And it was really he needed to get that. He needed to catch
Yeah,
that pass. That was important for his psyche, and he got the job done.
absolutely. It was indeed. And so you know what? Look, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull up the AP poll so we can kind of have that as a backdrop. Because yeah, lots of movement in the top 10. Lots of movement. First of all, we were live on Friday during the Florida State Virginia game, and it was tied at the half. Okay, so we know the end result of that. Down goes Florida State. Okay, they went down. So that right there, the weekend was already starting off cooking right there. Okay. So then, of course, we were anticipating a few games, and I'll end with the biggest one. But Ole Miss. Now, I was 2 for 2 this weekend. I picked Ole Miss to beat LSU. I picked Illinois to beat USC at home. A lot of people were picking USC to dust them. Brett Bielema was a good coach, man, and Illinois is a good team, and they're different at home. So they were able to get the win. I had Georgia winning.
Hold
Oh,
on,
go
hold
ahead.
on. Can I say something about that Illinois? I got to just tell you a quick, funny story on the Illinois game.
Yeah, yeah,
Because I'm a better. I like to bet the games and stuff like that, and I generally have a line in my head before the games are, so I kind of see what the line. Like you look at the game and you kind of go, I think this team's a touchdown better, or field goal,
yeah,
multiple touchdowns, whatever it is. So I go to bet. I'm going to bet Illinois against USC. Like I'm going to bet Illinois against USC, and I'm watching I go to the thing and I'm thinking Illinois is a 7-point favorite over USC. Okay. And I'm willing to bet Illinois at that point, even as a 7 point on the money line. So it would have been minus 260 or whatever it was on the money line against USC. I've had they're +7. They were getting 7 points at home
oh,
against USC. That's how wrong I was. I'm with you, man. I loved Illinois in that
yeah,
spot. I think that you get a team anytime that a coach apologizes to the fan base about their performance the week before, you're going to get a better performance the next week. And USC was
yeah,
coming out playing at 9 a.m. West Coast time. That game was at
yeah.
9 a.m. West Coast time on Saturday after playing late into the night the week before. That had upset written all over it. But I'm sorry to interrupt your. I was interrupting your flow, but I'll give it. Do
No,
do
that's
do do do.
all good.
Ah!
I wish I could hit the video ribbon too.
I can't hit that one.
Ah! Oh man, that is funny. But no, you're good. Listen, two things I want to hit on with that. Actually, I was wrong. I was 3-1. I picked Oregon in a close game versus Penn State. So my only one out of the four big games that I missed was Georgia, Alabama. I had Georgia finally getting over the hump and beating Alabama at home, and they did not. So 3-1. But and Mark, yes, I did play catch with my son. He caught a lot of balls. I mean, he was pumped. He was on point. His Smith jersey was, yeah, we played, and yeah, he got it in. But anyway, so two things I want to mention is that we kind of talk more about the Ohio States and the Midwest teams having to fly out west, but we don't nearly talk about the West teams having to fly out east. Or, like I forget what Washington has to go to Maryland. They got to travel to Maryland. That ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? In Maryland, they're not great, but they're not trash to the point where they can't mess with you. You better be ready to play. And so people don't talk about that, Nevada. It's always about us flying out west. Well, what about the West folk flying out east into the Midwest? So that's one thing I was going to say to your point about USC traveling to Illinois, playing at 9 a.m. their time. So the other thing is we got a good league, y'all. I'm not throwing, just like I refused to throw away Illinois. That's the temptation. When you've watched college football as long as we have, you can't take the bait to throw a team away. You have to watch the games, evaluate, and say, you know what? Illinois is not a bad team. They just ran into a buzzsaw. They ran into a Signetti buzzsaw. And you see they bounce back against another good team, USC. Do I think USC is great, elite? No, but they're a good team. And so we got a good league, y'all. We are the best league in the country now. We have to wrap our heads around that. And so some teams are going to lose. Some teams are going to get beat by good teams. So I wanted to say that real quick, Nevada, before we move on to the Penn State Oregon game.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, it's a good point, and I think that I guess the message is just don't take anything for granted, man. Don't take anything
Right.
for granted. These are college kids, and anytime you're dealing with schedule upsets, whether it be early games, late games, too many night games, too much travel, or whatever it is, man. Teams run on a schedule, and anytime you interrupt that, it's a something. So for us to go out to Washington, because that's different. That was a different thing. They left on Thursday, which I thought was a stroke of genius. Okay. They got out of Columbus. They got it. They were able to go into Washington a day early and kind of pull together. And you know what? We're playing like a team that's pulled together. And like I said, I take nothing for granted. I'm 25% of our road games are behind us, and let's go get Minnesota.
Yep. And real quick, one last thing about that road game, Buckeye Nation, and this is why I wore this Buckeye Nation shirt today. I wore this, intentionally to shout y'all out. I was not able to make it out there with y'all, but y'all showed up. You said, "I see your loud decibel stadium, and I'll raise you a Buckeye takeover." Everything I've heard was that the fan base, the crowd, you could see the scarlet sprinkled within the purple, but people that were there were saying that we were loud, like it was a problem, like chanting OHIO and let's go Bucks. I mean, loud. That's what I'm talking about, and that's why JJ Smith in his post game, I believe with Tiberi or whoever, Adam King maybe, he was saying it was loud, but it wasn't that loud, and it wasn't that loud because of us. And so shout out to Buckeye Nation. Just like Washington is introducing us to their culture, being new to the Big Ten, we're introducing you to ours. We are everywhere. Let me explain this to y'all who's new to Buckeye Nation. We everywhere. It don't matter. We on the moon. Like, we're everywhere. All right, Nevada. All right, I'm done.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, they had more procedure penalties than we did, so somebody was making noise, and so whether that was
right.
crowd noise or whatever it was, yeah, our offensive line pulled it together and then really took a big step as a team.
Definitely. All right, so let's quickly talk about this Penn State Oregon game. It was a great game. The whiteout is a great atmosphere. It always is. I still have questions about both teams. It was definitely a grinded out game, back and forth, not much activity on offense for a while. Drew Aller is still. I just haven't been impressed with this Penn State team and Drew Aller. I just haven't. Their running backs are fine. Their receivers, they don't have any big time receivers. Drew Aller still, Their defense is good, but not ours. Sorry, Jim knows. Oregon has some players. I thought Dante Moore made some nice plays. It was a good game. Fast forwarding to overtime. Kudos to Penn State for fighting back. I know the Penn State fan is in the chat. Kudos to your team for not giving up, fighting back, tying it up, taking it to overtime, and banging with Oregon. But man, that last pick was so Drew Aller, Nevada. It was so Drew Aller. And so it's just like, it doesn't matter how you slice it. It just keeps falling back into they can't win the big game. And they I was joking with me in my chat, my homie Dewan. We were talking about how they're innovative. They're coming up with new cutting edge ways to blow a game. I'm not trying to. Sorry, Penn State fans, but it's just like, yo, Nevada.
Well, yeah, and I thought that there was always a valid criticism of Knowles of, his performance late in games. Late in games, he had a propensity for giving up scores, and late in this game, they went to overtime and they gave up two quick ones, and that was the ball game. You know what I'm saying? So, is that fair? I don't know, but it's a something, and I think Aller, they showed some spark when they ran that zone read stuff, where they were trying to stretch them, horizontally with the kind of the jet sweep type of action and stuff like that. But he's to be a guy that was touted as the number one pick in the overall draft, and can't miss NFL quarterback. Yeah, he soiled himself again, and his next big game that he plays in that situation will be his first big game that he plays in that situation. So was not impressed.
Nope, not at all, man. All right, so let's go ahead and dig into these super chats. I'm glad you brought up Kevin Newby. Thanks for the 199. I'm glad you brought up Fielding. Business decisions for Fielding got trucked. He did, but I'll tell you what, one thing I was thinking, he definitely turned it around, Nevada, because he was not good against the team up north. Obviously those missed field goals were bad, but he turned it on during the playoffs, and he's been pretty solid, since then. So, any thoughts on this comment from Kevin Newby about fielding?
Yeah, no, I mean, like he's been low key great. I mean, been really good on the kickoffs. Obviously, that with the one kickoff he didn't kick through the back of the end zone, came up, made the tackle, and been really solid on field goals. And look, I just remember Mike Nugent, who left Ohio State as a first team All American, NFL stalwart for 15 years or whatever the heck it was. Great Bengal kicker. People forget he was 7 for 14 his freshman year at Ohio State. 7 for 14, which is bad. That's like that's if we had little B Moses out in the back kicking field goals, he'd be able to do 7 for 14. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like, yeah, I mean 7 for 14 is not good, and he leaves us so yeah, with fielding. I'm extremely excited about his thing, and I think it's a tribute to his mental tenacity that he's been able to stick with it, and he's on fire right now, kicking them right down the middle. So I appreciate him.
Amen. I agree. And good perspective. Mike Green, what's up, brother? Thanks for the 499. Excuse me. Speaking on the defense, Jim Knowles' defense is very complex. Took 3 years to activate. I feel that got the boys ready for Matty P. Plug and play. That's it's a fair point. And also, like Ryan Day has emphasized, there was not going to be a complete overhaul of the principles of the defense. Yes, it's different, but the foundations weren't uprooted. So that really helped for the guys to get acclimated. Matty P, and this is the beautiful thing about Matty P and his humility, is that, and Ryan Day, and also Ryan Day's standard is like, listen, we got national championship coaches. OG Walt is still, I mean, he's great. Pointing out all the coaches on the staff. We still do this. Larry Johnson. This doesn't need to be fixed, but you can bring in your wisdom, your ability to come into any situation, call any defense, work with any personnel, and maximize it. And that's what he's done. So to me, I think that's one thing we have to remember is that he didn't come in here and do a complete overhaul. He came in here and built on the foundation that was here and just added his flavor and different things to it. Nevada, you got anything on that?
Well, I think that's where people, first of all, the people that are like all over Jim Knowles, I'm just not there, man. I think we should thank Jim Knowles for bringing us a national championship. He took over a defense that was an absolute dumpster fire,
Yeah.
brought him to #1 in the country, got us a natty, and then Ohio State didn't want him around anymore. They didn't renew him. They didn't extend him. They didn't even invite. They told him to stay away from the national championship celebration. They didn't want him to be there, and it worked out best for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those amicable breakups. Um, but yeah, Matty P took over a great defense, but now we've got the most NFL style defense of anybody of all the 135 teams playing college football right now. We look like an NFL team. And so while there's similar concepts and there certainly was a foundation from Knowles, the defense looks different. It's conducted differently. It's certainly coordinated differently. And while I'm grateful to Jim Knowles, I'm ecstatic that Matt P has taken it to the next level, in my opinion.
Definitely to the next level. And ha 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 to the haters who mocked us for being happy, for having the audacity to be excited about the Matt Patricia hire. Yeah, how'd that work
Yeah,
out for you?
yeah,
But
that
yeah,
was nuts.
yeah, that bro, crazy. But yeah, no, I don't have any vitriol for Jim Knowles. I don't care for some of the ways things happen when he parted. But once he comes here to the shoe with Penn State, it's on. It's just what it is. But yes, I am thankful for Jim Knowles bringing the championship to Ohio State. Mike Green, thanks for the 499. Again, relax on Bo, playing a lot. Remember, he's a true freshman. Locke would not risk him getting hurt, knowing now how important he is. Now, chill, everyone. I could just picture you, Mike, like standing in front like a security guard in front of Bo, like back up. And Bo's behind you like this, like, what's going on? I got you. Listen, I feel you. Locke is going to take care of that, dude. I think it's a matter of, hey, what's needed? Because here's the catch-22, Mike. You're going to give him what he's proving that he can take on. Number one, he's the best back. Number two, he keeps showing that he can handle more and more. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, how do you not feed the kid if he doesn't, he keeps showing he's stepping up and just proving that he can take more on. You know what I'm saying? So yes, there's a balance to it, but yo, hey, think about Claret. Think about, other freshmen that just earn carries and was like, hey, this is our guy. So I feel you, man. But if Bo keep bowing, then we just gonna keep flowing. Go ahead, Nevada.
Yeah, no, I think it's one of those ones that you just got to, you're wrestling with. You want to develop the other guys. You want to continue to develop Bo, but you got to win football games too.
Right.
And he's so much clearly better than the other guys. So I mean, I think we're all rooting for the other guys to get better, be coached up, and be more effective, so that we can like have a real two-headed situation or parent as fair like we did with Bo with Quinshawn and Trey last year, where when you took one out, there wasn't a drop off. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
the problem right now is when you take Bo Jackson out of the lineup, there's a clear drop off between the backs and those other guys. They just got to play better, and that's what I'm rooting for.
Yep. It's true. It is true. All right, Will the Thrill, thanks for the 999. Any chance we see Turbo get in the mix at running back? Also, super proud of our guys flying all that way and ending a 4-year home win streak for Washington. Sky's the limit as we develop. My quick take on it is, and God forbid, and my table that I work on, that is wood. I'm knocking on wood, barring injury, in my opinion. I just don't know if Turbo will be in the mix at this point. It's kind of maybe too late for that, but we'll see. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing that. And then also, I'm also proud of our guys as well. They went out there, handled business. It was a business trip, and they got the win. And it wasn't pretty, from the beginning to the end perfectly, but they handled business. They won by 18. Super proud of them. Nevada, anything on Turbo?
I think Turbo's terrific too. He's been battling an injury. That's why he's not in the lineup. That's been seeing him. I it's a long season. You might see it. I mean, he's got the ability to come in and flash. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
They got to get him healthy before they can do that. Once he's healthy, name to keep an eye on for sure.
Yeah, and then and even if it's not at running back, man, he was, remember, at the practices I went to, he was back there kicking, doing punt returns, and he has explosiveness, man. And then with Ennis, man, it's crazy because Ennis, that was a good return before he goofed up and coughed the ball up. It was a good return. But maybe they'll throw him back there, when he's healthy enough to kind of get him in the flow a little bit on the field. But all right, what we got next? We got another Mike Green. Thanks for the 199. Penn State has 0 sacks versus Oregon. Sounds familiar. Mike Green is throwing them jabs at nose. You got anything on that, Nevada?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm a big Knowles fan, and we got that natty for in large reason because of our defense, um, down the stretch. But yeah, they didn't get it done, and he's the enemy now and must be destroyed. So I'm certainly not a Penn State apologist for sure. I think Oregon's the second best team in the country behind the Buckeyes, but I think we're clearly the best team in the country.
Yep, I agree. I agree. All right, Lavelle Cannon. Thanks for the 199. B Moses, what's good, my brother? Go Bucks. What's good? How y'all doing? Listen, first of all, thanks for the super chat. But also regarding the chat, man, I'm just going to just sing y'all's praises again. Y'all are just phenomenal. I love y'all. I'm looking at the chat most of the time when I'm doing this, unless I'm pulling up a screen or something. But we got the best chat in the business, y'all. I mean, like, seriously, we need to have a Twitter account that's like, it's just named Scoop Chat, Buckeye Scoop Chat. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need your own Twitter account. Best chat in the business. Love y'all. Y'all always do y'all's thing. And so just wanted to shout y'all out. Anything on that, Nevada?
Yeah, no, we just appreciate everybody being here every night, and it's you're the reason why the show is so popular, and we just really 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 appreciate everybody being here, and thanks for being part of the family.
Absolutely. All right. And the last one here from Dennis Moore. Thanks for the 999. You guys missed the greatest time on the Portland Buckeyes tailgate yesterday. We had 293 Buckeyes dance to. Oh, you did? Oh, let's go. Did anybody record that? So
Oh,
you know
play
what
that
time
funky
it is.
music.
And
Don't
play the
don't
funky
don't don't
music.
don't don't don't
Oh,
don't. Come on. Dude, that
See,
should be the song. That should be the
no,
song.
I agree. Listen, we got to make this happen. Both can
Yeah.
happen, Nevada. They can play my song, you know what time it is, in between timeouts or pregame, and they can play that funky music, white boy, at the beginning of the fourth quarter, into the third quarter, whatever.
Oh, the
But
place would be going crazy. It'd be going
oh,
nuts.
like, come on, man. Like, but Dennis, yo, that's dope. Please tell me somebody recorded this, because that would just bless my soul, man. That was great. I heard great things about the sailgating in Seattle. We'll talk to Dev when he gets back and up and running again to get his report. But that's dope, man. I love to hear that, man. Great, great stuff. Nevada, I mean, listen, you're gonna have to get with some of your peoples, man, and make this happen with these music selections.
Well, dude, I'll bring out like my 6-inch heels and my big rainbow fro wig that I'll get out there, and I'll be out there dancing on the sidelines or play the funky music white ball. I'll lead the crowd in that thing right there, man. I'll get it going. I got the goldfish in the heel and the whole 9 yards, man. I'm ready
Oh
to go.
boy, the Huggy Bear.
The Huggy Bear, he's a great American.
Oh man. And real quick, as we end out, Matty P loves his players. Just want to show you this. Jim knows. Eat your heart out, Jim knows. You didn't love our guys. More Jim knows bashing. Look at this hug from Matty P as we end out the show. Look at that. Look at the love for these guys. That's what I'm talking about. I just wanted to show that, man. Matty P's happy here in Columbus. I hope he stays forever and ever. All right. Any last words about it before we hop off?
No, I agree. I love Matty. I love me some Matty P. Gonna enjoy him every game he's here.
Absolutely. Who's the I've been kind of busy this week. Who's about to play right now? NFL. Who we got?
Packers Cowboys, man.
Packers Cowboys. That's right. That's right.
My Packers right now.
So let's get off because your boys go. It's in Dallas, right? He's going back
Correct.
to Dallas. Got
Yes.
it. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Listen.
let's do it.
Love y'all. Great show. Fun show. Go Bucks. And we out. Peace.